All right, Herc, we still got one more game to go in terms of the MLS Cup game ones here. But of the games that we do have a final score on, Herc, which winner impressed you the most?
Sporting Kansas City.
Look at that. Look at this guy. So happy to say he was right.
Listen, it's not that I'm right. The numbers would also indicate that, yes, I am right. This is Sporting Kansas City's fourth game unbeaten. This is St. Louis's third game that they've lost. They went into St. Louis and completely hammered the best team in the West. I don't care if they're an expansion team. This is a massive failure for St. Louis. To host this game at home, have the season that you had, and then have your main rival, Kansas City, pound you that way? It wasn't one, it wasn't two, it wasn't three. It was 4 goals, and it could have been much worse. I've not seen Kansas City respond this way in quite some time. In fact, I believe it was the first time that they've scored a road goal in the first half of a playoff in 20 years, Seb. This is a different Kansas City, a different Sporting Kansas City, and the way they played against St. Louis, pressing them, making them cough up the ball in precarious positions, and forcing Roman Berkey to be much more of a factor than he should have been in this game. It was one of the worst performances I've seen from a favored team in quite some time.
Is St. Louis done? You think there's any chance of a comeback?
No, because this format lends itself to give them a lifeline and a second lifeline and a third lifeline.
So you do think St. Louis has a chance? You do think they have a chance?
Of course, and I feel bad for Kansas City because you wiped the floor with St. Louis, and that score doesn't matter anymore. You dropped 4 goals in St. Louis, and you got to turn the page and act like that never existed. And now, theoretically, St. Louis could tie the next game, win on PKs, tie the next game,
penalties.
tie the next game, exactly, tie the next game, win on PKs, so they could not win one single game, just win the PK shootouts in advance. So it gives them lifelines.
Yeah, you think people are pissed about the best of 3 right now? Imagine if that goes down. I know the folks in St. Louis are mad on top of everything. The scheduling was very much against them, not happy with the late kickoff time on a school night there in St. Louis to start the playoffs. All right, so you picked something out of the Western Conference that you were most impressed by. I will go Eastern Conference, and this will again hurt my DC United heart as we travel up I-95, but I got to give some love to Jim Curtin and the Philadelphia Union and what they did against the New England Revolution. Now, we got to point out, the New England Revolution are a team hanging by a very thin thread. We know what this New England Revolution team has been through over the last 2 to 3 months, and I picked them to go out in this series against Philadelphia. That said, I did not think it would look this easy. Herc, you turned it off. It looked so easy. What was shocking to me is how quickly this game was over. 3 goals in basically the first half hour. It was over by halftime, and for those who want to make a point against the best of 3, perhaps you could make the argument around the Sporting Kansas City St. Louis series. I think you could look at this series as well, because this is a playoff game between 2 teams that have a rivalry. There should be some intensity, and yet after 35 minutes, once that 3rd goal hits, you're almost wondering from a Rev standpoint, do you just pull everybody off and just kind of say, well, let's rest up for game 2? That's not what a playoff game should feel like. So for me, there was some disappointment actually in watching this game, but I was very impressed with Philadelphia. I was also, Herc, I have to say, we saw the highlight, very impressed with Cincinnati. I thought New York Red Bull, especially coming off that 5er that they put up in the wild card round, would maybe have a little momentum, maybe give them some trouble. Lucho Acosta, amazing finish. And you're right about Alvaro Barreal, man. We got to start talking about this guy more before he is gone. He is a very, very special player in Major League Soccer. Not just the Puskas, one-hit wonder. He's got something to him for real.
He's gone. He's gone. There's no way he stays past this postseason. If Cincinnati's, I think per report's already looking for another left back or another wing back. But he's had a hell of a season, and he continues to show us why he's one of the premier players, not only for FC Cincinnati, but in Major League Soccer.